To be gun-free or not to be. A presentation by Jamin, Noor, and Edward. As of a recent election, hypothetically, a new legislature proposes to remove gun-free zones, issue volunteers from public schools and the general public with firearms, and background check and professionally train said volunteers following the Federal Flight Officer Regimen. All volunteers would also be annually recertified by the government each year.
The benefits of reducing/removing gun-free zones. Oftentimes, in emergency situations, people wait in fear for the police to arrive. For a variety of reasons, they take a while. With the public more prepared for emergencies and criminals, slow police response times, while still an obvious issue, would to a degree be less of a problem. According to the Office of Justice, many more criminals are killed or wounded each year by armed citizens than by the police. Criminals would be discouraged from committing crimes knowing that people around them are potentially armed and trained. According to a Florida State University study, gun-wielding civilians in self-defense or some other legally justified cause is killed between 1,500 and 2,800 felons annually. According to the U.S. Justice Department victimization studies for both robbery and assault, victims who used guns for protection were less likely either to be attacked or injured than victims who responded in any other way, including those who did not resist at all. And victims who resisted robbers with guns were less likely to lose their property. The ineffectiveness of gun-free zones. In theory, gun-free zones reduce or eliminate the presence of guns in these areas, thereby eliminating the risks of unintentional firearm injuries from recklessness, escalatory conflicts, or criminal activities, as said by Rand.org. It is clear that gun-free zones are a seemingly great concept on paper. The issue is that those who intend to break the law and commit horrible crimes will not be stopped by a sign telling them that they are entering a gun-free zone. Criminals with illegal guns don't second-guess entering a gun-free zone if they are about to commit a far worse crime. A large majority of mass public shootings have taken place in gun-free zones, such as schools and shopping malls. This graph shows recent studies of locations of mass shootings, and most of them have taken place in gun-free zones. This leaves the public defenseless in these zones, which are very common.
Wait, isn't this just a major upgrade? Well, no, actually, there's still many issues that come up with no gun-free zones. So, let's talk about it. First, I'd like to bring up jurisdictional conflicts. Many issues could pop up as gun laws vary widely across different levels of government, including federal, state, and local laws. Removing gun-free zones would create many legal conflicts, especially in areas like schools, national parks, and federal buildings. And when regarding private property, certain businesses might oppose allowing firearms into their establishments. Training and certification standards. Ensuring that all individuals are properly trained and meet safety and legal standards could be extremely costly and require a lot more infrastructure and budget allocated. Insurance and liability. Institutional liability. Schools, hospitals, and businesses could have lawsuits and increased insurance costs due to gun incidents. And personal liability. Individuals may also face repercussions and legal issues due to improper or negligent use of firearms. Challenges of a society without gun-free zones. First, I'd like to talk about security coordination. Everyone having guns makes it more difficult for police and security to distinguish between threats and lawful carriers. Public safety. With many new and inexperienced gun users, there is a potential for accidental incidents occurring among many other improper uses. And also, there's an increased theft risk, as everyone carrying guns makes an increased risk for guns to be stolen, which could lead to other violent issues as well. And resistance. Many professionals in schools, hospitals, and other nonviolent settings may oppose the presence of firearms in their institutions, along with many people just not feeling safe in gun-allowed zones.
This is a difficult decision, faced with the potential for both strong benefits and strong downsides. On one side of the argument, crime rates might lower as more citizens would be armed and therefore more criminals would be deterred from committing crimes. On the other side, more armed citizens might lead to an escalation in deadly encounters. We've also shown how gun-free zones tend to be ineffective and unintentionally put law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage. But the removal of gun-free zones would likely be met with public resistance, especially from property owners who enforce a gun-free policy on their property, along with the various legal issues that may accompany that. And perhaps the citizens who weren't selected as volunteers or didn't want to be volunteers would feel unsafe overall. In the end, The outcome of the decision is uncertain.
Thanks
Thanks for
watching.
References.